I need to say something before we talk about this JoJo looking character, Gorilla, in that whole dodgeball match, which was so intense. I'm going to say what everyone else is afraid to say, and that is Tomo in those glasses looks like the Squirtle Squad from Pokemon. Let's all not kid ourselves, let's not beat around the bush. We're all thinking it, but no, seriously, as soon as I saw those glasses, it just reminded me of the Squirtle Squad, and honestly, I kind of love it. But this episode of Tomo-chan is a Girl, we see some great progression. We get to see more into Jun's feelings, which, honestly, anyone denying the fact that he's more or less like, he probably has those love bug feelings, I mean, you're kidding yourself if you think he doesn't. There's been more than enough clues to maybe indicate that, but there's obviously that fear of what happens. Does the friendship get ruined? Does it all go to hell once it breaks off? You know, there's a lot of general feelings of fear, and hell, we even have Mizuzu as an example. I don't think they're trying to go the route of saying, oh, she's in love with Jun. I mean, she literally tried to break up with him prior to him breaking up with her. And I don't think she's actually in love with Tomo either. I think it's more of a fear of once, because this has even been brought up before, like the concept of like, hey, what happens when your person, your best friend, goes in a relationship? Is there no longer time for you, right? So it very much feels like the direction they're trying to go is there's going to be a little drama with her maybe doing something selfish, like maybe trying to not let them be in a relationship so that she doesn't lose her best friend. I could very much see something like that happening given some of the glares and remarks about how she even says, I do things for myself. So there could be a little drama there, a little spice to add some flavor. But overall, I think we all know they're going to be in a relationship by the time the show wraps up because, I mean, they both have very similar feelings, and I think both in terms of an intimidating aura as seen by them shaking down the other side of the teams there in terms of their dodgeball matches to what we saw over the course of the adorableness. I mean, they're absolutely perfect for each other. Now, I do have a full live reaction to today's episode available on my Patreon, so if you want to see my full uncut thoughts, head on over there and consider supporting, because this show's honestly a blast to follow. You never know exactly what you're gonna get. Sometimes you're just having some cute, adorable hijinks where our girl gets dressed up, her hair color changes, and makes me a little uncomfortable. Honestly, I much prefer her in that redheaded aura, but there was something about her in like the brown hair wig stuff. I was just like, you know what? She kind of looks like a vampire now. I don't know what it is about the hair color. Like the dress is fine, but the hair color, we need to change it. But it did add for some good comedy where Jun's like, is this her? No, it can't be her. She's shorter. Not recognizing that she's wearing high heels. Just the back and forth of, does he recognize me? Is this Tomo? Just very fun dynamic. But the dodgeball stuff was like hands down the best part. And I am a sucker for when anime makes someone who's supposedly in high school look like they're 40 or 50 years old, both in terms of a physique, but also the face structure. Like, as soon as you see Gorilla, you're looking like that could be the PE teacher. Like, there's no way that is a 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old. No. That's a 50-year-old who's like on the roids and is getting buff and ripped. But the fact that you just have such an intense match, you have that over-the-top cheesy sacrifice moment when Jun protects our girl, and basically they're presenting it like it's a dying moment. He's being held in her arms like he's about to get his one last kiss before he passes on. And less than like 30 seconds after that whole dramatic scene, you literally see him standing on the sidelines acting as if nothing happened. Literally, this entire episode had our two central side characters, Mizuzu as well as Carol, basically just being bobbleheads, just being almost deadpan, not knowing what they're looking at, and having some of the goofiest reactions and some of the best comedy in this episode for having very little words spoken. Of course, they had those very on-the-nose, what the hell am I looking at jokes. You literally have Tomo's birthday, right? And Carol comes in and drops this heavy thing, and I'm like, oh, is that like a bento box? She made her a nice lunch? Nope, solid gold bar. She literally gave our girl a retirement plan for her birthday. And the fact that she was willing to bring an even bigger one, but it was too large to carry from home. This girl is stacked with money. I know most of the times in these situations, they always try to go the route of, oh no, this is too much, I can't accept it, or in the case of Tomo-chan, they're just like, what? And they don't even acknowledge what happened with that. Me, you dropping a gold bar in front of me on my birthday, I'm taking that, I'm shaking your hand and be like, this is the perfect gift. Make sure you do that next year. Because holy hell, you just bought that girl a house if she actually keeps it, right? But man, the jokes are hilarious on the show, but I'm glad that the relationship and the dynamics of the characters are remaining to be the focus. And I think the core idea of this show is what happens when friends get together. Can the friendship remain? There's the worry, what if the relationship doesn't work out? Then the friendship, it can't just go back to the way it was. You even have the concept of what happens if your friend gets in a relationship. Do you no longer have time to spend with them, right? These are the general fears that are keeping the show going, and by having that extra over-the-top comedy aura, I mean, you just have a show that never misses a beat. It's usually making you laugh, sometimes it makes you melt, or it sometimes makes you a little worried. Not in the way that it's going to implode, but enough of that drama to say, ooh, I wonder if they're going to make it, or I wonder how long this drama could last. But having characters like Carol be in the front and center almost at all points in time, even when drama might be popping up with Mizuzu, you still have our alien girl just being the absolute adorable menace she is, so it's always going to be a treat to follow. I really did like seeing, though, the kind of makeover in terms of what they did, because then they send her off because they're trying to decorate the place, but also they wanted to throw her in the public, see what would happen. And just the entire concept, because, like, there's just something about it, you know what? Like, I'm not saying, like, she looked bad or anything, but just that drastic hair color shift, I was like, no, get her back to being a redhead. She looks far more like, she just feels like Toma, and I thought maybe the direction they're gonna go is like, he just wouldn't like it, like, hey, why are you dressing up? I like you for who you are. Instead, they gave us a way more funny comedy scene where, honestly, they almost had a heart-to-heart about the worry about, hey, I have a female best friend, worried about what could happen, and honestly, they're very, very close to being on the same page. It's just one of them now needs to take that extra step. Tomo, already thinking she's done that and being rejected, obviously is way more cautious. But for June, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked in the slightest if they do go the direction of him confessing as the second time, because she already tried and failed. So it'd make a lot of sense for him to do it at some point. And I could easily see maybe a few episodes of potentially a little drama, friend worry about what happens with friend if they get in a relationship, and then the last few episodes them getting in said relationship. I think that could be a very good structure overall. But in general, this has been a very fun watch. We're officially halfway through the season of Tomo-chan is a Girl, and it's been a blessing. It hits that right comedy spot, it's meme-worthy, it's over the top and ridiculous, but it absolutely knows how to pull on the heartstrings, but never let it go too sappy or too emotional, too over the top. It just feels like a perfect rom-com adventure that I really don't have anything I'd change about it as it stands. Hell, they even continue to have some fun jokes I'm not expecting, whether it was initially the girls who we thought were going to be bullies to Tomo, now worshipping the ground. You had the bullies who tried to shake down Tomo, got their asses beat, and then ultimately June beat their asses too, so then you have them kind of like all looking proud. They're walking up to basically say, oh, they got a girl on their team, and just the petrified look said it all. I like the ongoing humor, I like the building and the character relationships. It's just a great watch overall. But I'll pass the torch over to you. What did you think of Tomo-chan is a Girl episode 6? Favorite funny moment? What are you thinking about the relationship? Maybe the little drama that's brewing in the background? Where do you think it's gonna go? Do let me know down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, be sure to ring that bell so you can get notified when I upload on the channel. And of course, as I mentioned, we got that full live reaction available on my Patreon, so consider supporting if you so wish. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.